Hello and welcome to e-GMAT. We will solve question number 77 of OG Verbal 2nd edition by using e-GMAT 3-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence, and finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. Geologists believe that the warning signs for a major earthquake may include sudden fluctuations in local seismic activity, tilting and other deformations of the Earth's crust, changing the measured strain across a fault zone, and varying the electrical properties of underground rocks. Well, this sentence presents a fact. It says that geologists believe that there are 4 warning signs for a major earthquake that include sudden fluctuations in local seismic activity, tilting and other deformations of Earth's crust, changes in measured strain, and variations in electrical properties of rock. Well, a key thing to note in this sentence is that the intended meaning conveyed may be a little difficult to comprehend because of the construction of elements 3 and 4. Elements 1 and 2 are clearly nouns. Well, tilting is a noun. The verb is tilt, which has only one noun form, tilting. There is no other word like tiltation or anything. So tilting is a noun. Now, elements 3 and 4 are written in verb ing form, making it appear as though these two are presenting results of the previous clause. Warning signs may include A and B, changing the strain and varying the electrical properties. Well, this cannot be the correct interpretation for 2 reasons. Firstly, the meaning itself is nonsensical. It does not make any sense to say that warning signs include A and B and that cause change in measured strain and variation in electrical properties. Grammatically also, it is not correct. When we have a list of parallelism, conjunction appears before the last item in the list. If the warning signs include only 2 entities, then and should have been appeared after activity. But in this case, and appears before varying, meaning that varying is the last entity in the list. So we have a list which has 4 entities, but these 4 entities are not grammatically parallel to each other. Well, now let us do the error analysis by splitting the sentence into its clauses. So here comes the first clause. Geologists believe that. Here geologists is the subject and believe is the verb. Presence of that brings us to another clause that reads, the warning signs for a major earthquake may include sudden fluctuations in local seismic activity, tilting and other deformations of the Earth's crust, changing the measured strain across a fault zone, and varying the electrical properties of underground rocks. Here the warning signs for a major earthquake is the subject and may include is the verb. As we have already discussed in details in our meaning analysis, the parallel list in this sentence includes 4 entities: sudden fluctuations in, tilting and other deformations of, changing the measured strain, and varying the electrical properties. Well, here the last 2 entities are not parallel to the first 2 entities. These entities can be made absolutely grammatically parallel by changing the verb ing forms into the noun forms, such as change in and variations in respectively. So the last 2 entities lead to the parallelism error in this sentence. Now let us run the POE to find out what's the correct answer. Well, choice A is certainly not correct, as we discussed just now. Well, choice B is also not correct because firstly it repeats the same errors as in choice A, and also this choice distorts the intended meaning of the sentence. Now the original sentence states that changing the measured strains, meaning the actual strains have changed. But this choice, however, states that measurements of strain changed. That is, the measurements change, but we do not know if the actual strains changed or not. Well, there is a very minute difference between these two, but it is significant enough, and we must keep a keen eye to detect such change in the phrases. So these two errors make choice B incorrect. Let's take a look at choice C now. Well, here we have the parallelism error. Changing is not parallel to sudden fluctuations in, tilting and other deformations and variations of. Let's take a look at choice D. Well, choice D is the correct answer because now the last two entities have been changed into noun phrases and they are now grammatically parallel to the first two entities. Let's take a look at choice E now. Well, choice E has again the meaning error with change in phrases as we found in choice B. Well, both the expressions variations in and variations among are correct idiomatic constructions, but they convey different meanings. We need to select the appropriate construction to convey the intended meaning of the sentence. Now, variations in electrical properties of rocks implies that we are measuring the electrical properties, and these properties are different from one rock to another. Variations among the electrical properties of rocks means that we are talking about multiple electrical properties such as dielectric constant, conductivity, etc. And there are variations among these properties themselves. Clearly, this does not make sense here in this sentence, and that's why use of variations among is incorrect. So, as we found out earlier, choice D is the correct answer for this sentence. This brings us to the takeaway messages now. In a parallel list, all the entities must be logically as well as grammatically parallel to each other. Always notice the change in the form of words or phrases as they change the intended meaning of the sentence. And the concepts tested in this sentence have been covered in e-GMAT concepts, level 1 parallelism, identify and correct, and level 1 parallelism helpful tips.